What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Kick-Ass Podcast. We are here today with a very, very special guest for a very special show. We have a returning guest, Sean Plichta. Welcome back to the show, Sean. How are you doing, my friend?
Ashley, I'm doing so well. I am so excited about what we're fixing to talk about. This is going to be a fun podcast. I am thankful that you decided to have me back on. The first one was so much fun, and I think this one's
Yes.
going to be a blast. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, of course. I'm super stoked too. So, of course, we are here to talk about WrestleMania. What else, right? Night one and night two. We have the official lineup, the matches that are going to be on night one and night two, respectively. So, we're going to go through that. Uh, just before we get into the card itself, I'm super pumped. I'm gonna be making my way up to Philly, so I'm super stoked to be there. I'm gonna try to weasel my way into Mania. We'll see. At least Sunday night, we'll see. But those prices, dude, are just ungodly. Like
They're
even
great.
for like nosebleed seats, it's like you're starting like 350 for like the very last row, the very last seat. And I'm just like, and that's without like the Ticketmaster fee of like $105 and then all your other BS fees. And I'm just like,
Crazy, ridiculous.
oh, yeah. So I don't know. But what is your overall feeling with the build? Are you excited? Are you like what's your level of excitement? Is there something in particular? Is it the obvious, the Cody, the bloodline, the Rock, all of it? Is it or is it just the atmosphere? Are you digging it? Do you think they're lacking? What are your overall thoughts first?
Well, as far as the main events, yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked for that. I mean, how could you not? I mean, the build here lately has been really, really fun. Really enjoyed it. Everything with Cody. Like I said in the last podcast, if you didn't hear with me the last time, I'm a Cody. I love what Cody's doing. So genuine, so real. I just want to cheer him. I want him to win this daggum title, get past this.
True.
But as a whole, the build's still been fun. I mean, there's some things we'll go through that I haven't loved every bit of it. But again, that's wrestling. You're not going to love every single thing they do. But as far as most of the matches, they've done a good job building the last few weeks on Raw. Like Monday Night Raw is such a fun show now. I never
Yes,
thought I
it's
would say Raw
wild.
was fun.
Wild.
Raw was like I wanted to fall asleep during every episode. Now I'm like I'm on my seat. Like what's going to happen next? What are they going to do? So yeah, the
Yeah.
build's been fun. Every match at least has some kind of build, whether it's good or bad, which is a fun thing. Yeah, I'm just overall very excited. I'm going to be hanging out with friends on Saturday night and Sunday night, different friends each night. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get different
Nice.
perspectives on what's happening. So yeah, it's really really a fun card. I think all the way around.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't agree more. It's like you said, that's a really good point. Like it not only Raw but SmackDown as well. Like it gives you that vibe where you can't miss it again, or if you have to watch the whole show. Like
Mm.
there were times where Raw was dreadful, and it's like 3 hours felt like you're like I feel like I'm wasting my life away trying to get through this show. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, like I could be doing so much, like so many other things with my life with these 3 hours. Like there was one time I literally left. I put Raw on my phone. I went to Walmart. I went to a couple stores. I did a couple things. I came back and there was still like an hour and a half left on the show. I'm like, oh my god, like I just lived a second half of my life, and Raw's still going on. But now it's like it's completely
Yeah,
different. It's
it is.
completely different. And what was it when they were in Chicago? When The Rock beat down Cody Rhodes and like did the thing outside with the near the tour bus, I actually fell asleep. Like I want to say around 10:30.
How could you?
So,
How could you?
I know, what, dude. I know it's been. I'm working outside now, and I'm not used to it, so my body doesn't know what's going on. But dude, it was crazy because like I woke up the next day and check Twitter or whatever. That's like legit the only thing I check is Twitter, but when I saw, I was like, "Wait, what? The Rock beat down Cody?" And watching it back, I'm like, "Dude, like I can't miss anything now." And it's frustrating, because it's a great problem to have, and it's super exciting. I'm not really expecting much out of this Friday night show on SmackDown, um, just because I think they're gonna be in actually that pausing really quick. Are they gonna be airing the Hall of Fame directly after SmackDown? Are you aware, or where are they airing the Hall of Fame like ceremony itself at?
Yeah, it is in
Because
Philly.
let
Yeah, as
yeah,
far
yeah,
as I
yeah, but like airing on TV or Peacock or
think it's as far as I know, it's on Peacock right after.
on Peacock. Okay, I should know
That's
this.
just what at least from what I remember them saying, because they did talk about it a few times, but I think it is on Peacock after.
Yeah, okay, yep, you're right. Scheduled to be live streamed at 10 p.m. Eastern on Peacock.
Hall
Cool,
of Fame, maybe Hall of Fame.
dude. Wild, wild. Um, that's gonna be
Yeah,
oh,
it's gonna be Roman
podcast.
inducting him too. That actually is pretty good that they're just letting Roman induct him because it'll fit in
Yeah,
some of the stories too. I think maybe to some degree, which will be good.
and I hope they don't do any type of angle for, like, WrestleMania. Part of me thinks they may, and I don't know if that was more like a Vince thing where he doesn't want any, like, any storyline progressions to happen at the Hall of Fame type thing, like, keep it separate. I don't know if that was more of a Vince thing or not, but I would kinda wanna keep it separate. Like, do you kinda feel differently? Do you think it'd be cool to see, like, some development, like, when Roman's on stage, if Cody comes out or if Seth comes out or something, or do you think they should just keep it classy?
I would honestly. I mean, I could see that. I don't want that. I want it to be classy. Just have Roman. He could say some stuff, just tongue
Yeah.
in cheek and a few things, but no, just keep it to the Hall of Fame. Let Paul get his moment. Leave that to him. Leave that to what that was going on. I mean, we let Cody. I think Cody will do some kind of promo. I do think he will have a go home little mini promo of some kind to just get you excited about his journey, last part of his journey to win this title. But other than that, they won't do anything super crazy. But no, keep it normal. Just keep it straightforward. I think that would be fine for me.
I agree. I agree. I was trying to pull up here to see really quick if they had a preview for SmackDown. And really quick, well, as I pulled up here, went to WWE.com. What do you think of Jade Cargill? I know this is complete 180, but this is the first thing on their website. What do you think of the trio, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, all teaming up? I predicted they were gonna do Jade and Bianca, but as a tag team at Mania, but I like the addition of Naomi, and I think that I I'm not advocating for like a trios tag or anything like that. God forbid we need more titles anywhere, but I like the group, man. I kind of like it. What do you think? I know
Yeah,
it's random.
yeah. First, I love the way they introduced Jade on SmackDown. I love the intro,
Yeah,
the promo, little short and sweet to the point. I'm a star. Look at me. I'm gonna dominate. Love that. Yeah, Jane Bianca. I was with you. On our last podcast, we both agreed I thought that's where they would go. I like the slow burn. Get the three of them
yeah,
together. Have a good 6-woman tag. Have Jade go over strong in the little bit that she's gonna get. Let everybody have their moments. All three of them. I think that's gonna be fun. The interplay between the 6 women is going to be really fun. And then
yeah.
you tell the slow build to Jade Bianca if you're going to do that next year at WrestleMania 41. I just think it's
Mm-hmm.
perfect to do that, and I think this is the way to start it. I love what they're doing with Jade. Everybody's like, "Oh, just bring her on." Like, no, slow build is perfect with Jade.
Yeah,
don't rush it. We don't need to. You got good
and it's
stuff.
like yeah, and I mean, okay, but it's like if you, especially since you're not gonna have her do like you're not gonna showcase her at this year's WrestleMania, why bring her back a month prior to Mania or anything like that, where you're gonna expect a build, you're gonna expect them to showcase her, or because if not, then people are gonna be bitching that oh, okay, well she debuts and then disappears. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
slow burn, like you said, like she's not gonna be doing anything too major at Mania, but it's great exposure for her. It's a great I don't want to say warm up match, but it's kind of is. She's gonna be protected, so she's not gonna have to carry the weight of the match, even less in a trios now than it would have been in a tag match because partner and
Yeah.
partner, but she can get the hot tag. Like I think it's gonna showcase her so well. And I think the Philly crowd, I think they're gonna just eat her up too, because she's a star in the making, man. Like, she's just one of those people, like they say the airport test, right? Like you
Yep.
look at her and like even if you don't know like what the hell she does, like yeah, you're like, who are you and what do you do? It's like one that you try to like take a sneak picture and be like, yo, like, do y'all know who she is? Because like she's got to be somebody, right? Like I think I just saw someone famous be, like obviously we know who she
Right.
is, but she's just got that vibe, man. Like her and Rhea both. I always thought that about Rhea
Mm-hmm.
from jump, like in her NXT days, but like on a different level with Jade. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, they got something special with her, and I just part of me is just like, man, like I don't know, obviously, what money wise, what WWE presented as opposed to AEW, but I think AEW lost a big one when they lost her, like long term, But
Yeah. I wanted to go real quick. We're already talking about it, so let's just talk about this too. As far as Bianca, there's a lot of people I think might say, well, why does Bianca not have anything big? Well, number one, Bianca's had a lot of big matches here the last few Manias. I mean, she's been
mm,
showcased in a really big way, and even though her character hasn't been as great as I would like the last couple months, like this has been the slow build with her and Bailey, the interface with them, and then now with her and Jade getting together. I just love what they're doing, and obviously she's going to get a big moment next year with Jade. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, do I think Jade might win? Yeah, but she's going to get another big moment. I think they're doing it good with Bianca, even though it's been colder than it was the year before. But I still think Bianca's in a good spot. The fans still enjoy her, and she's still over. And so, cool. I'm totally fine with what they're doing with Bianca right now too. And like I said, the slow build starting their feud, whenever that is going to be really, really great. So,
And to me, like, first of all, you don't have to be in a title match every year, because then people are gonna start hating her like they did Charlotte, right? Like, oh, why is Charlotte always involved in the title picture? Like, why can't she do anything that's not like a non-title related?
mhm.
So I don't know. Like, I actually have been a really big fan of what they've been doing with Bianca the past couple weeks, few months, whatever it's been with her and Naomi. I like the dynamic. It felt real. You know what I mean? It felt like it was just them two in the back talking. Naomi was kind of keeping her in line and putting her in check, like, yo, like, you don't know, you're kind of still newish around here. But then Bianca being like, no, like, you haven't been around for what, 2 years or whatever it's been. So you don't know what's been happening. So it just felt real, man. It just felt like a real conversation that a camera, if they were walking in backstage, probably they would have been having already. So I just like the progression with it too, and it's
Mhm.
a different side of her. It's her not being like, oh, I'm the EST after every line and after everything. It's just like it's kind of like toning her down a bit, but she's still, I don't know. To me, it's kind of just it's toning her down, but presenting her in the same light, but a different light too. And I dig it. So people just want to hate sometimes, and just like they just always gotta complain about something. And I feel like they're actually going the better route by not having her involved in anything title related, not even tag team titles. But
Yeah, I agree. No, they're
that's
in a
my opinion.
good spot all around, I think.
Yeah, and I still can't find any. They have so many things posted from WWE World right now on their Twitter feed. So I was just trying to see any type of SmackDown preview, but I
Had
ain't seeing nothing.
I know they had a couple matches that they said were going to happen, but I cannot remember for the life
Yeah,
of me what they were.
nothing
Nothing
crazy.
super important, no. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe it was no, it wasn't because they're doing the yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. But I mean, it's still going to be a fun SmackDown. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah, for sure. The energy is going to be there
mhm.
for sure. But anyway, anything else before we get into Mania that you
No,
wanted to
let's
bring up?
dig into this card. We got a long card, so let's dig into
Yeah,
it. We got
facts.
lots to unpack here.
Facts. So obviously we'll start with night one, which is on Saturday, and I'm still a huge fan of breaking up the Mania card into 2 nights. At first, couple years, what was it, for 37, 38 when they first started doing it again? I was like, I don't know, because it kind of took away. At first, I was like, it's gonna take away the importance and like the feeling of like WrestleMania, but now I love it. It's a whole weekend event. It gives things more time to breathe. And like I joked before we started recording, it's not a AEW pay-per-view where you're sitting there for half of your life trying to get through the show. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yep.
I dig it. Are you a fan of the 2 night thing, or do you like the one night? Would you prefer to cram it all into Sunday night?
I at first I was I'm actually with you again in lockstep as far as I didn't like it initially. I was like, 2 nights. It kind of like one night, and then you kind of go to a second night. It's like, can it have the same energy that it had the
Right,
first
right.
night? But then now there's just so many good matches that there are that yeah, it's hard. It's just too long because you want to give them the proper time, and you can't do it in one night. You just again, you'd be there forever. And I would
I-
still love it because we're both wrestling fans. We'd still love it, but by the eighth hour, you're oh my god,
Exhausted.
this is too much. So
Yeah, yeah.
nights is fine. I'm enjoying it more now. The more they've done it, the more I'm fine with it.
I am right there with you. And speaking of the 2 nights, we'll get to night one again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 7 matches on night one, and then I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, 7-7. Wow, look
Okay,
at that. Seven
all
and
right,
seven. Good for them. Um, I'm gonna start again, like I said, from the bottom because I don't like to start with the main event. The first match on night one they have listed is Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. I'll start with this one. I think it's very random. When I saw Dominic show up on SmackDown and just interfere, I was like, okay, like, did I miss something? Obviously Santos and Ray have been going back and forth for a minute now, and Dragon Lee has involvement, but the Dominic thing just felt kind of forced. And I was kind of bummed by it because I enjoy him doing his own thing. I enjoy him being separated from Ray and not, I don't know, just kind of being like his own man, you know what I mean? Being his own dirty Dom. But it's gonna be a fantastic match. Like, that being said, like I love Dominic Mysterio. I think he's just done like incredible things. His growth is just insane too. And seeing him with that damn mullet too, like every time I see it, I have flashbacks to young Eddie, you know, and obviously that's the idea, you
Right.
know, but young WCW Eddie, ECW Eddie, and it's just wild. It's just crazy to see.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how Ray feels, you know, being, you know, like real life Ray, just like watching his son just do so well. But
Got to be cool.
yeah. But I think with this one, because last year I was so in the camp that Dominic should have won, but I think this year they got to give it to Escobar and Dom. So that's gonna be my pick and my hope is Dominic Mysterio and Escobar take the W here. I think it's gonna be some chicanery, some cheating, whatever. I think Dominic's gonna do something to Ray, probably something with the mask or whatever, and then that's gonna cost them the match. But what do you think?
Yeah, so the build has, not been very good, obviously. As far as Dom, I love what Dom's doing. And going back to this, and with Santos too, like I like what Santos has done starting back Legado with Angel and Umberto, which I like them together with him. I think that's a good
Hmm.
good pairing. So I like what they've done so far. Dom is just great. I mean, yeah, a one-on-one match with him would have been cool too. But I mean, I like the tag team with him and Santos. I think they'll play well off each other.
For sure.
Um, but going back to Ray, I mean, Ray, again, I love Ray. I still love that he's able to do what he's done at his age. I just think it's phenomenal what he's been able to accomplish and still been able to do, even with the injury he just had to come back. And he still looks healthy. He looks
Yeah.
energized. He looks ready to go. And I think the plan initially was to have Dragon Lee kind of be the next Rey Mysterio. I think that's what they were like thinking initially. They just dropped the ball with him so badly. I mean, he's lost to Santos like twice. He lost to him on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, like in one move, he was pinned. I'm
And I
like,
think he lost to Ricochet too, if I'm not mistaken. It was him on that speed, that WWE speed thing on
oh,
Twitter.
that Speed losing this on Speed too.
I I'm gonna while you talk, I'm gonna pull it up because I know my friend actually had posted it, so I'm gonna pull it up to confirm. But I because I'm gonna I think it is. I'm gonna check, but yeah, you can keep going.
So so I just think they had a couple of good matches with him and Cedric at one point. It was like, all right, you're kind of introducing him in a cool way. You're showing his moveset and seeing what he could do and just the high flying ability he has. And then they just dropped the ball with all the losses and the way they've just defined him down. I just think, and to me, you ruined it because when Ray was doing the promo, like everybody wanted Carlito to be in it. He's like right there. He's right standing right beside him with LWO. And they're just like, oh, Dragon Lee's the guy coming out. It's like, people like Carlito at this point. Let Carlito get a cool match like that. It would be fun, him and Ray together. I would have really liked that. And Dragon Lee, I don't dislike him. Like I think he's a cool wrestler. He's could be fun, but I just think they've already got him in a really bad spot to where I just Santos and Dom have to win by something. I mean, if Dragon Lee gets the pin, I'm just going to shake my head. It won't make any sense to me. But I think the build's been okay. Dom's been good. Santos and their roles have been fine. Ray's great, but I think the heels have to go over in the match for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I found and it was Dragon Lee who Ricochet beat.
Wow.
And the whole concept of that speed is it's 3 minutes or less. So yeah,
Yeah,
and it's actually
for less. Like, great.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, right. You're right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And the good thing is he's still very early on in his career, Dragon Lee, with WWE at least. Um, and I feel like he is gonna be one of those guys where now, obviously, when you get to a certain point, it is what it is. But I think he's one of those guys that can. I'm just watching the little match here. It's kind of cool. But
Uh,
they I mean it's 3 minutes. You can watch. Obviously, the whole thing is for it to be on Twitter or X, whatever whatever.
multitask. We got a multitasker right here. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes and no. But I just think he's one of those guys too that he can take losses right now because he's still I don't know, he's still beginning and we're still as WWE fans getting our introduction to him. And it's not one of those where he looks like shit each time he loses and it's like a squash or anything like that. Like even this match, that's why I kind of wanted to just keep it on the side. Ricochet is not like, it's not like a clean slate or anything like that. Like it's competitive. Would I have him in a 3-minute match? No. But
No.
especially if like you said, the thought is to be like the next Ray, and no one can ever be the next Ray, right? Like he's one of one. But like to be that, like if that's, or if you just want to someone in that slot for when Ray does retire, um Dragon Lee could be that person, but you got to be
Hmm.
careful. You got to be careful
And,
with him.
and I don't know if, and somebody brought up a good point. I don't know if Dragon Lee's ever going to be like a main event talent. So it's not like, well, you can have him lose early on. It might not be a big deal
Exactly.
because he might go after a smaller title and be like, oh, it's fine. You
And
can
that's
build
part
him
of
back.
his story.
Yeah. Yep.
That could be
So,
part of his story. But yeah, so who's your pick? Who's your final
uh,
pick? Final
yeah, I think
decision?
Dom have to win. Yeah, I just think it
Okay.
wouldn't make this point if Ray and Lee win. It would feel weird. So I think Dom should get the pin. I think Dom needs to get a pin. I really think he does.
Yes.
I don't want him to keep losing because I do think Dom has gotten better in the ring too. Not that he's uh, the best worker you've ever seen, but he's gotten better. I mean, the 619 does look weird because how tall he is. That's why the
Yeah.
619
Yeah.
is good with him because he's so tall and so lanky. But I mean, he's gotten better each and every time, and we just want to boo him out of the building because we can't stand him in a good way.
Exactly. Exactly. Um yeah, he's just great. And I think he I'm pretty sure it was him. He had the most matches of 2023 in WWE. I think it was like he had like 160 some matches, 170 some matches or something. And then next down was Seth Rollins. So
Wow.
he's put in the work. So it makes sense. And he's just a natural too. Like, yeah, he was kind of clinky and awkward, but he's gonna be something special, man. And the order he gets and like the beefier he gets, like, yeah, dude's good. He's gonna be something special. Yeah. But next up we got here is, of course, the one we were just talking about. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. What do you think?
Yeah. So again, I think the build, has come on strong at the end. I mean, obviously there was nothing because it just became a match. So I mean, it wasn't like a long build because
Right.
we just knew about it here a week ago. But
Right.
I think Damage Control has. I mean, I'm definitely higher on the three that are wrestling because I think they're doing some good stuff together. There's some good chemistry between the three of them. I think Dakota's been good in her heel role. I think turning on Bailey was probably the right thing to do in the moment. I do think Dakota, just saying, I do think she could be a really good babyface at some point down the line because I do
Yeah.
think got a lot of likability there. But I do think she's done a really good job as a heel. And just the three of them play well together. But again, I think Naomi, the storyline between the three of them has been really fun, and then bringing Jade in, I really like the dynamic between. I think the six women are going to have a really good match for the time they get. I hope they at least give them 8 to 10 minutes. Don't go too crazy because again, it doesn't need to be overly long because there's so many matches here. But
Hmm.
go 10 minutes, get Jade's moveset off, get her power moves. Like let's see what she can do. Even maybe a little bit, maybe one extra move, maybe just to kind of show something different. But don't go
Yeah.
too crazy. Bianca's going to do what she's going to do. Naomi, no, I'll say I'm excited to have Naomi back. I'm with you on that. I don't love Naomi as a wrestler. Like she's okay. I don't. She's fine. And I think she's going to be fine in this match.
Hmm.
I love her as a personality, and that's why I think it's good to have her back in WWE as a personality. The wrestling I can live with here or there. It's okay. Like she can do a good match and it's fine, but she's gonna do her stuff, which is good, and the other two are gonna shine. So I really am excited about the match, and Jade, Bianca, and they have to go over. Just they have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much right there with you on this one too. I think, and in regards to Naomi, I like too that they didn't go the easy route when she came back and just slide her in with Jimmy or get the good
Yeah,
reaction at Rumble with the
right.
surprise return and then
Yep.
have her go and just kind of not utilize her as a wrestler and just kind of have her as like the cliche, just like wife with a husband type thing. And it would have made sense too with the bloodline storyline. Like and I was an advocate for it. Like, it's crazy to say, but years ago now, when the whole bloodline angle started, I was like, you gotta throw Naomi in there. Once the Usos got in there and all that, like back then, I think it still would have been cool. But I kind of dig now that she's still doing her own thing and not being
Right.
in someone else's shadow or anything like that. But yeah, dude, I think this is a no brainer. You're not gonna have Jade Cargill lose her debut match, whether especially if it's a single, but even though it's a 6-woman tag, like there ain't no way she's losing this. So it's gonna be a good, and I think you said it too, like it's gonna be a good showcase match for her to show her moveset, show what she's all about, maybe throw in a new move or two, and just call it a day. Just a good introduction for her, I think is the goal here. And I can't wait to see her entrance. I think she's just gonna look like a star. Like I love the storm is coming thing. Like I dig it, man. It's dope.
It's
It's
good.
dope.
It's good.
It's dope.
I'm enjoying everything they've. Like I said, people really got on that, and I'm just like, guys, we got to settle down with that. Let it build slow, and again,
Mm-hmm.
slow build to Mania. Oh, it's going to be so good for next year. I'm already excited about it, and we're a year away, and I'm already excited.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Where do you think it's gonna be next year? Do you think it's gonna be in Minnesota?
Ooh, I hope so for
That's
Wade's
the
sake.
big rumor.
Like Wade, come on, man. Wade and Jason need a WrestleMania. Come on, they've been coming to
Yeah.
WrestleMania forever. They need to get one, and I hope it is because and it can be inside too, where they don't have to worry about freezing their buns off.
Facts.
April. So
Facts. I think I'm pretty certain one of his recent shows I was listening to, Jason had mentioned that if it is going to be in Minnesota, he was going to go because he had always told himself like next time it's in Minnesota, he's going to go. He was going to still try to do like the coverage like just from there or like
right.
wherever like press gets like their VIP boxes and all that shit. But I don't know cuz Wade's weird, man. Like he's always like he doesn't want to go. Like not weird, but like he's like he doesn't want to go to the show cuz he has to cover it or whatever, but I was like, when I heard him, like, because I think maybe it was Todd. I don't know, dozens of shows, but he wasn't certain on if he was gonna go, and I'm like, dude, you have to go. Like, I'm talking back to the podcast. I'm like, dude, you have to go. You have to go. It's right there. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know where it's going to be though. I mean, it could be Minnesota. I mean, obviously, it could be down where you are again. I mean, Florida's a great
That'd
place.
be great.
WrestleMania, and you'd
It's
be able to watch.
fantastic.
So that would be cool too. But I want it
Fantastic.
eventually one of these days. Oh, well, it's actually here in Nashville in 2-3 years. I think it's here in three
Really?
years. Yeah, it's in Nashville.
Oh wow.
So I'm hoping to be able to go to that because that would be. I mean, obviously 3 years. Who knows what's going to be happening in 3 years? But it's going to
Right.
be good because the way we're going, it's going to be great. So
That'd be sick. That'd be Nashville. That'd be very interesting.
make
Yeah.
the trip up, Ash. Come on, make the trip up.
No, I probably would. I think I'm gonna try to go to Mania every year.
Oh,
We'll see.
nice. That would be awesome. That would be
I
awesome.
say that now. Well, with the prices and like each year just gonna
Oh,
keep getting more and more expensive. We'll see.
yeah.
I ain't trying to take out like a special loan just for Mania. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how some of these people do it. Like how they're always front row. Like bless you, man. Bless you and your bank account because I ain't there.
Amen.
I ain't like that.
Amen.
But anyway, the next match we have is the 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Got a lot of people here. We got Judgment Day, of course, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Awesome Truth. Just cracks me up. The Miz and R-Truth, of course. You have DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. New Day, which is Kofi and Xavier versus New Catch Republic. Don't like the name. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus A-Town Down. Hate that even more. Oh, I'm sorry. A-Town Down Under. Left out the worst part. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Uh, yeah. Honestly, with this one, part of me is wondering if we're gonna have a surprise entrant because there's been rumblings with the Hardy Boys contract status and all that. To be fair, I didn't watch the interview I think Matt did with Chris Van Vliet when they were talking about it. So I don't know if he probably answered because Matt just answers everything. Um,
Mm.
if their contract was up or not, because I think it was what 33 when
Yeah.
they had their surprise return. So that was cool, and I obviously like I am a huge Hardy Boys fan. Like Jeff was my guy. But I don't know, unless we get some type of surprise or something like that, I see Judgment Day retaining. And as I say that, I could see them wanting to give like Awesome Truth, Miz, and especially R-Truth a moment here. So, and I think
Yeah.
it really depends on what you want to do with the briefcase and Judgment Day as a whole. So, I think I'm gonna go actually Awesome Truth. I think they want to give it to Miz and Truth here. I
Hmm.
don't I don't think it's very credible. So part of me it's like it's not really a safe choice, but just with how much love Truth has been getting, and there's really if you think about it, like what other title has he had in WWE besides the 24/7 championship? Has he even been a tag team champion with anyone? Was Awesome Truth tag champs before?
I
Let me look that up. I can't
don't
recall.
think so. I know he obviously was in the WWE title picture there for a while, but he never obviously.
Right.
So he might, yeah, he was. It's possible. Yeah, I can't remember though. It's been I can't remember what happened yesterday. Like it happened 10 years ago. Um,
Facts.
but so I'll talk about the match while you're looking for that. I mean, it's going to be a fun match. Whenever you do ladder matches, like they're always fun. Like you're going to see some cool high spots and cool stuff that you're not going to normally see. And all these guys can do some fun stuff. I like what Bait and Dunn have done as a team. I've enjoyed them so far. I mean, DIY is starting to slowly kind of get back to being over again. Like they're getting there. They're in the slow build with it.
I'm
Um,
so
New
disappointed with them.
New Day is just I'm just over New Day. I mean, I mean, I love what they did for a long time, but I'm over it now. Um, and then it depends on if you what you're going to do with Judgment Day. And so I
Hmm.
just think losing this in a 6-pack ladder match just feels weird to me. Like I just feel like they'll retain. But if you're going to give R-Truth a moment, like I'm okay with giving R-Truth a moment. I mean, I do enjoy him and Miz together. Like it is fun. I mean, I do crack up with it. I just don't know if you want to put a main tag team, an undisputed tag team titles on them, just because as fun as it is, I still don't like comedy acts winning titles unless there's some meaning to it somewhere, and I just don't think that's ever
Hmm.
going to be a meaning with them. It's just going to be having fun, and that's cool. But I do like that R-Truth's wrestled more recently. Like I do like he's had some matches. I just I want to keep it on Judgment Day. I want to see what you do with them going forward, and I think there's more their story they're going to tell. But I think it's going to be a fun match. I mean, give some cool spots, but I just don't see anybody else really winning right now. But a cool moment. If they win, like I said, I'm okay with it because I like them. I just don't know where you'd go from there, and I'm not sure I want that titles on that kind of an act.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I have no memory of this, but he was the US champion twice.
really,
Yeah, two-time US champion, hardcore champion, and that was WWF, so way, way back when. And he was a tag team champion with Kofi Kingston. But what cracked me up is, of course, they have his WWE 24/7 championship listed here, and he's a 54-time champion, 54-time 24/7 champion.
that is
So
funny.
it's just
That's great.
tremendous, bro.
Oh man.
But yeah, so okay, that answers that. So yeah, that kind of changes my outlook. I still wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they put it on him just for that moment. But I think my money is going to be on Judgment Day retaining because, like you said, it's just there's really no other, and that's what kind of gets me too. Though there's really no other competitors. So if Awesome Truth were the win, like who are they going to go after? It would probably be a rematch unless Judgment Day breaks up, but they really can't afford that in the division. So I think they're probably going to retain. That's gonna be my bet too. Was
To
that
lose
your final?
Yeah, to lose a match or to lose in a match like that just seems so anticlimactic. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's that
yeah,
many teams. That's like what he lost it in a random. Yeah, I would say Judgment Day has to retain here.
facts. Me too. Next up is one I'm very much looking forward to, and well, now that I see what's above it, probably not going to be the show stealer, as what I was gonna say, and we'll reference the other match obviously next. But this one is the Usos, Jay versus Jimmy, and
Okay.
I just think it's perfect. I think this. I wish we would have gotten more substance, like more story on like out of them, and just more promos about like stories from them growing up and their competitiveness. And because I'm pretty sure Jay is the younger one, so just maybe like the strife and that Jay always faced, like trying to live up to Jimmy, even though however much time they are apart age wise. But I think we could have definitely gotten more in my opinion, but besides just the random and frequent attacks from Jimmy just interrupting Jay's matches. Um but I think I love just the bullet points of it. I love that it's brother versus brother. I love that it was what I think it was 10 25 and now 40 for brother versus brother matches at Mania. You have Brett and Owen.
And then
You
the
have
Hardys.
Matt and Jeff at 25, yeah, and then now you have Jimmy and
Wow,
Jay at 40.
I didn't even think the 15 years in between.
Yeah,
That's
isn't that wild? But what makes it even better in the city of brotherly love, brother versus brother in Philly. Like to me, it just like the stars just kind of align, and it's just pretty cool. And man, just thinking of how heavy like the bloodline is on Mania this year, it's kind of wild, but it doesn't feel forced either to me. Like this match doesn't feel forced. It's not like oh, like Rock's trying to get all his family on the card type shit or anything like that. Like everything makes sense. And to me, I mean, my pick, Jay is gonna win this one. I think Jay should. I think even if Jay wins and they embrace afterwards and kind of, because I think emotionally, like I don't think they're gonna be able to not like hug each other or some shit afterwards. Whether we get the Shawn and Jericho moment where they hug and then Jericho kicks Shawn in the nuts, whether that happens or not, TBD. But I think Rikishi's got to be there. He's got to be front row. Like he's got to be nearby. They got to show him at some point. Um, but yeah, my pick is Jay. But I just think long term with Jay too, I'm going to hold my thoughts for Jay until the next match. Because it kind of plays into that. But I think Jay's a star, man. Jay just had there's seeing the reaction for him at the Rumble and seeing how many little kids loved him. Like, dude, like this little kid, he was probably like 8 or 10 years old, made a sign with like the blue string lights around it. It was cute or whatever. That's the
oh,
yeet. So cool, whatever. But he was saying, of course, yeet, and then there was this other kid who was saying no yeet in like the road, like in the section. So they were going back at each other. They were like yeet,
right.
no yeet, and I'm just like, oh no, like I hope this doesn't get too serious because like 8 and 10 year olds, it's kind of awkward. But like dude, like the passion that Jay brings from these people is just it's wild, and like everyone does the little hand thing, like he's special, man. Like there's something about him too, and that's why even if they embrace and like kumbaya after the match, I still want them separated. Like I don't want to see the Usos team no time soon. But that's my spiel. What do you say?
Well, first I want to go back to the tag match really fast because you were talking about the Hardys and we brought up Matt and Jeff,
Oh
facing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I as much as I was a big Hardy Boy fan too, and I still am, that they're over the hill, man. I don't want them anymore. I mean, like I said, Matt shouldn't have even been wrestling anymore at that point. And Jeff's, I really wish he wouldn't have even came back because he's had so many other issues that he's dealing with, and I hope he figures those things out. But I really hope they don't do that. I'd rather have the Dudleys knowing they're in Philly. I'd rather have them back than I would the
Mm,
Hardys at this point. That'd be a lot more fun if you're going to do something like that. I would
that's so true.
yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I forgot about that when you were talking about.
That's so wait, before you move on, that's so true that because I don't know if you listened to Busted Open, but Bill Bully Ray is obviously a host on the show, but they're in Philadelphia. Like they're already there. Obviously the
Okay.
connection with the Dudley boys. So with Bully already being there, I'm sure it ain't shit to get Devon up there. But I just don't know, like health wise, because Devon had gone through like some pretty serious like back surgery or something like a couple years ago. But if I'm not mistaken, they've had a couple matches since then, like a couple like one-off matches or like random appearances. So, dude, I didn't even think about the Dudley Boys, but that could be it. That would be sick. That would be sick. Like
I would.
people,
I'd have the.
dude, like people shit on Bully Ray, and I don't really know why. Like I don't know. Like some people, I
He's
feel like
okay.
just say stuff to say stuff.
I
I
don't
don't
dis.
agree with what did you say?
I don't dislike him. I mean, he's fine. He's fine to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Like I don't agree with 100% of his takes, but like
He has his takes. I mean, like hate
yeah,
or
like we all do.
who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you can go ahead.
yeah, let's go back. I just talk because you were talking about Jay and Jimmy as far as like
Yeah.
the build. I'm with you on the build. I've been disappointed with the build. I really have. I thought they talked about a lot of their upbringing in the bloodline, like when the bloodline was
Mhm.
really peaking, like they were talking about a lot of that. And I wish they would have brought a lot of that up because that would have been so good, like knowing they're actually going to be facing each other now. Bring that history back up, let them talk, have these passionate promos about all that, just bring all that back to the surface. I thought that would have been a lot better than what they've done because Jimmy just I haven't liked what Jimmy's done really at all lately. Honestly, I mean he's okay. I mean I still like him, but he once he did the stuff with the like trying to high five or yeah, I don't know. He hasn't done it for me lately. With Jay, I'm with you. He's definitely a main event guy, caliber guy. I like now. The question is for me to you: are you going to get tired of the Yeet after a while? Because I like it right now. It's fun. I enjoy it. I think I will enjoy it. It's just it might get a little old after a while. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Jay will make it fun to where I might just forget about it. It might not be a big deal for me. But in Pat McAfee, even though I like him just saying it all the time and like, Yeet, I'm like, okay, man, you're making it kind of dull when you always bring it up and talk about it. And
Yeah.
so, what do you think about that? Do you think that's going to get overblown or like kind of overdone, or is it just it's Jay? He's great. It'll be fine.
No, yeah, I'm already over. I think Yeet is kind of cringed anyway. Not my thing. But for whatever reason, people love it, and I think it was Sammy. Like Sammy was the one who like really like started the whole thing because like back when he was still in the bloodline,
Mhm.
he had said it to like kind of mock like stuff that they were saying like to each other like backstage or whatever. But that's my recollection. But yeah, I think I was never a fan of the whole Yeet no Yeet thing. I think it's cool. Like it's cool in the sense that like he needed something to like kind of connect. And I think it was game, but I don't think it's long term, and I don't think he needs it either. Like I don't. He's just I don't know. He's just different, man. Like he doesn't need like a crutch. Like even the whole hand thing that he does in his entrance to like get the fan involvement, like that's not even them saying anything. So he doesn't need to string that out. Like he doesn't need to string the
Yeah,
Yeet.
yeah. So
So
I was just to get your take on that because I was curious. I think like Jay has to win. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I'm with
yeah,
you on that. It's no debate either. I can't say I want Jimmy to win because no that'd be ridiculous and I don't want that to happen. Jay is just he's doing some good stuff for me. I like the interplay with some of the guys still with him and Cody, him and Seth here or there. I still like some of the interplay there.
hmm
Um, the stuff with Drew was still fun when he did that, and we'll get into that later. That's going to be so much fun to talk about. Oh my gosh. Um, but no, the build has been like a C minus, not that into it. But the match will be fun. I mean, I think they'll have a really good match, and I think Jay should win, and we'll see where Jay goes from here on out.
facts. Yeah, and I hope they don't do some dumb shit with Jimmy like stealing a victory in the end
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I just don't. But the next match that we have here is the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, and that was what I was holding off on a little bit when it comes to Jay. And I don't know, we could be different in this, and I hope we have at least one that we differ on. But I mean, a lot of these are just kind of obvious that we've gone through so far. Um, but I see not Sammy, I see Gunther retaining here. I don't think Sammy is the guy to dethrone Gunther. I was thinking about it earlier. The only reason I could see it is if they know the direction they're gonna go and they need someone for Cody to face off against, or if Seth is gonna keep the title. If they need like a strong bad guy for whoever the champ is gonna be to face off against, I think that could be why they want the championship off of Gunther. And Sammy is a likable guy, easy to cheer for, so I think that'd be kind of be the easy route if they need him to. But I don't see that need, that immediate need for Gunther to be free of the title. So I'm going that he's retaining here. And my prediction is that Jay is going to dethrone Gunther at SummerSlam. I think you're going to build to that. I think Jay would be the perfect guy. Chad Gable is, I like Chad, but I don't see it as much as I want to. And I think with the hype that Jay has, I think that would be perfect for that'd be someone perfect for Gunther to lose to because Jay has that credibility. He has that bloodline factor, right? So I think that kind of elevates Jay without anything else, really. Like just the fact that the rub that he got from Roman and just being in the bloodline, he's main event Jay. You know what I mean? Like it's believable. But two, I think it would really boost Jay because he's never had a singles championship. He's always been a tag guy too. So I think that would be a great launching pad for him. necessarily see him being like a heavyweight champ or anything like that, but maybe not universal, but maybe a heavyweight champ down the road, like 2 years from now or something. But I think he needs a title, and I think he needs a title, a singles title, before he ever goes back with Jimmy, because they will obviously eventually. But and I think that's why too. In my prediction with Jimmy and Jay, I for even more padding for Jay. Like Jay needs to win that, keep his momentum going. My thing is build into SummerSlam, have him dethrone Gunther, and then go from there. But that's where my mindset is going. But like I said too, like I wouldn't be surprised if they need Gunther free, and that would be a big stage to lose it at. Sammy's a made guy, like Sammy was facing off against Roman, so it makes sense with Sammy, but I think it's just too easy, and I think it's too much of a layup. So I'm going Gunther.
So, gosh, I have a lot of thoughts about this. So
Yeah.
many. So talking about, so I wanted to talk about the build to this match. The build to this match has been awesome. I've loved everything about this build. I love the stuff with Sammy and Gable. Like I'm, having some losses, but I'm doubting myself. I don't know if I can do
Mm-hmm.
it. The stuff with him and Gable, especially on Raw, like
And that
some
video package, oh,
some
it's
people some
beautiful.
people didn't like that. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Gable's being more serious now, which I like. Gable in a
Mm-hmm.
serious way. And saying it just feels real. It feels like the Rocky vibes. I mean, but in a good way. Like I like that. And then Gunther just getting deadly heat on him, just beating the crap out of him. You're not touching me, boy. You think you're touching me? You are not. You have no chance of winning this title. Like and just I've loved everything about Gunther. Like I'm just such a fan of Gunther. Just everything about him, his persona
Mm-hmm.
in the ring, the way he carries himself, just everything about him is just really good. Here's my dilemma. Yes, you could have Sammy dethrone him, so to speak. I don't like. I've never. I mean, okay. So the argument for me in my mind is if Gunther loses to Sammy, I never like somebody losing and then going to go for a main title because you just lost. So yes, so you can build him back up because he's Gunther. He's going to get wins and build himself back up. So I understand that point of it. It's just hard when you've had somebody as strong as he is losing to a guy like Sammy, who I like Sammy. Again, Sammy's fantastic. He's already had the Intercontinental title a few times, so it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine because it's on somebody that we do like, but I just think Gunther's on such a good run right now. But I like what you said about Jay. I do think if he is going to lose to somebody, I do think it has to be somebody fresh like a Jay that can gain something by winning it. Where I don't think Sammy gains anything by winning it.
Mm-mm. I don't either.
The story's cool, and you, like I said, you could win with this story, him overcoming the odds, because generally when you have a story like that, the underdog wins. And
But he's not
again,
really the underdog.
yeah, I'm fine with that in the general sense of the underdog. But Sammy already had the IC title. He doesn't need it again. And I'm interested to see when he loses how he responds. Does he turn
Mm-hmm.
heel on Gable and then they just start a feud with the two of them?
Right.
Do they go? There's other options they can go. Sammy was a very good heel back in the day. He was good. He's a better
Yeah.
face, but I like him as a heel.
The
He was very.
conspiracy. We never got the tape. We never got
Yeah,
what was it called? Oh my gosh. But his conspiracy, all
some kind
that
of
shit. Oh my
documentary. Yes,
gosh.
but
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot all about that until now. Yes. Oh, he's so great. He's
so,
so great.
but with Gunther, I just think I'm kind of with you. The more you were talking about it, so Ashley, why did you have to say Gunther retains? I'm with you. I do think Gunther retains. I just don't think it helps Sammy in any way, and I think it hurts Gunther
Mm-hmm.
in a little bit. Not that it kills him; it doesn't define him down or anything, but it just hurts because he has such a good character right now, and I just think if you're going to lose it to somebody to where you can still get him protected, but have Jay get a big win like that where it can, like you said, elevate him into quote unquote. I know they call them superstars. I wish that I'm with Wade. I wish they wouldn't call them superstars, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like more quote unquote superstar status, like build him up, have a big win like that. And that'd be a fun build. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great match. The build has been A+ stuff. Really enjoyed every bit of it, but I do think Gunther needs to win. I just don't think Sammy gains anything from winning.
Yeah, and before we move on, I think what you said too about like the underdog, like he's to me he's not the underdog here. Like even in the video package with him training with Gable, that was great, but that in my mind didn't showcase him as a underdog. It was just showcasing a fighter who lost and he's doubting himself and he's trying to train his ass off to be able to beat someone. Like that was my
He,
interpretation of it. Like not like he's an
that's true.
underdog. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't see it with Sammy right now. But anything else on Gunther or Sammy
Again,
that you had? No?
I just love where Gunther's going, man. I am just such a Gunther fan. I had him, guys. I was on Brass Ring Media. Zach and Tyler do such a good job. Check them out. But when I was on their end of the year podcast, he was my wrestler of the year last year, and he might be again this year. I mean, him or Drew, because Gunther's just been fantastic in every sense of the word, and I'm just excited to see where he's going to go. His superstar,
Facts.
absolutely.
Facts. And his transformation like is just insane too. Like to see where he was 5 years ago and how he looks now and him wearing a suit, he just looks like $1,000,000, man.
Yeah,
He's got it.
absolutely.
But the next matchup we have, and I think to me this one's a no-brainer. Um, so I really don't have much to say about it, but we have the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley is your champion, facing off against Becky Lynch. Um, I think the idea on paper to have Becky storm the interview with Ariel Helwani that Rhea did was it looked better on paper than execution because she didn't even swing at her when she got in there. Like Becky, that was my biggest thing. Like you didn't even swing. You get in there, you storm. Like I love the idea. Like I love her calling Ariel. That's believable to me because she's interviewed with him before. He's well known
Yeah,
within WWE. You know, he's makes sense. You know, not far fetched. I love the FaceTime. That made sense. I don't even mind the time in between her FaceTiming him and her arriving on set because clearly she knew Rhea was going to be there, so she knew where to go, so she was already there. Like to me, that part kind of made sense. Like you could have waited a little bit
yeah,
longer, whatever, but whatever. My problem was that Rhea's sitting there, just almost defenseless, just sitting there. You rush the stage and you don't even swing. I'm not saying you have to clock her, but like you don't even swing and like
yeah.
try
If
to
you're trying,
do anything or like run and tackle her. Like if you're that pissed off, like bro, like tackle her in the chair, like spear her in the chair type shit. Like obviously no one's gonna get hurt during that. So like and then we can't see because the desk is gonna be there, so she could be like wailing on her. Like to me, they lost it when she came in and like Rhea's sitting there. Rhea stands up eventually, and they're just like kind of face to face. And like, of course, the security or the production manager, whoever it was, broke it up. But to me, that was just like could have been so much more. Like, I like the idea, like you're thinking outside the box, and like to me, they need to do that more. Like with all these appearances, like if I'm pissed off at someone and you talk shit about my daughter, like I know where you're gonna be. I'm gonna meet you there. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take advantage of knowing, okay, she's doing media at XYZ. Let me show up there. You know what I mean? Like if you affect me that much personally that I'm that pissed off, then like yeah, like when I see you, I'm going to swing. I'm gonna at least make an attempt to hit you. And like the
right.
fact that she didn't just like really just like took it downhill for me. Um but to me, like they're just doing anything they can to get Becky not hot, but more believable. But man, like to me, Rhea's got this all day. Like Rhea's a star. Rhea is the focal point in the division, like Raw or SmackDown. So I'm going Rhea Ripley. It's a no brainer to me. And I think this is going to be an important win for her too, though. To me, the story has been kind of, but it's Rhea, man. Like in a lot of ways, like you just need something at least halfway decent storyline wise to get Rhea, just to have an excuse to have Rhea out there. So
Mhm.
it's a no-brainer for me.
So, yeah, I definitely want to talk more about the build because I mean, this is Rhea Becky. This is, I mean, we need to get a little more, like you were saying, into the. Yeah, I didn't. That was a good point you brought up about that. I didn't really think about that till you said that. It didn't like stand out to me initially when I watched it, but then yeah, like looking back in my head, Yeah, she needs to be just going and attacking. I mean, if you're not going to be talking, just
And
I
what's
mean,
the
it
point?
might something, but I mean, you're going to just still right after you're going to be swinging. You're
You
not
run
going to.
on this set to just stand there and talk to her? Like what?
That's weird. Yeah,
You
it
could have
takes
just
it.
waited.
Yeah. So the whole build itself has still been good. I mean, initially, I like where they went initially, where, like, to me, I would have just done two mega over women colliding with each other. Who's better? That's ultimately what I
Mm-hmm.
would have gone with here. And initially, they had the promo where Becky said, kind of like Sammy, like, I don't know if I can beat you, but I want to prove that I can, type thing. Like, because I can believe that with Becky, because like she makes me believe. Like Becky's promos are great. Like I want to believe Becky, everything she's saying. Like I believe it. I feel where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went when they brought. See, to me, I lost it when they brought the daughter into it. I was like, you're gonna bring Becky's family into it? Like, come on,
Yeah.
really? Why are we going to that route? Like, just have these two bad bees going at each other. Who's better? Not don't call each other that because I'm tired of that B word. Oh my gosh, like stop
Yeah.
using it, man.
Everyone says that shit.
But that's when they kind of lost me because I still people say Becky just hasn't had the luster lately because she just hasn't had a lot there to really get people invested in her again. And this has been the way to get people invested in her. But the problem is she just has Becky is still over. People still love Becky. They just love Rhea way more right now. Rhea's just hot right now. She's on fire. And
Yeah.
they love what she's doing. They want to see her eventually turn face when they need to. Now, the only argument people have made, which if they do it, I guess I could live with it to see where they go, is if they do a double turn. But I just don't see that because I don't want to see Becky is just a really good baby face, and people still love her, the man persona. They still love that. It's just they just love Rhea more right now, and
Yeah.
the match is going to be fantastic. I still think it's going to be a phenomenal match. But the build has been, I mean, I don't think it's been, the worst build I've ever seen. But for a match of this caliber between these two women who are so good, I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting more from it. Just give me the two dominant women. Who's better? That's the story you go with. You have good, believable promos leading into it. But I have Rhea obviously winning. People say Becky has to win. Becky doesn't have to win jack. I mean, Becky's a made woman. She's
No.
fine. Rhea needs this win, man. Beat Charlotte last year, beat Becky this year. Yeah, it's just you have to do that. I mean, it just
Yeah.
makes sense if Becky wins here. You lose
Yeah.
everything you have in Rhea by losing at Mania. It's like okay, well,
100%.
yeah,
100%. Like, yeah, that's what to me it's a no-brainer. Like they're just doing what they need to do to build Becky up a little bit more just to make her that much a bigger deal when Rhea beats her, in my opinion. But
yeah.
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think we're all aligned so far. But
Dang it!
now I know. Now we are at the main event for night one. Of course, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. This one I think could go so many different ways, and to me, of course, there's speculation too that uh, Austin could get involved, Stone Cold could get involved. People are even saying that John Cena could get involved, all because of that trailer that they had outside. Um, Stone Cold would be more believable, I guess, for me,
What the?
or more, yeah, like more like whatever. But I don't see Cena getting involved. I don't. There's
I
just
don't.
no reason.
Cena's
And I
not right now. I don't want him to do anything with the bloodline.
Yeah, and I don't even want Austin to.
No,
For that matter, like I don't really want any the bloodline interfering is enough. Like Solo, like Jimmy, all that, that's enough. We already got that. We already got that covered. There's just so much with this. There's just so much. I think I I'm sticking with what I've been kind of feeling for since The Rock had inserted himself. I think Roman but see, my thing is who's gonna
it's
take the
tough. It's hard.
loss? Yeah, like who's gonna take the L? Like I don't see the Rock. I see the Rock and Roman. Just get this out of the way. I see Rock and Roman winning the tag match. That to me, they're
Okay.
winning the tag to set up Bloodline rules because I think the main event on night two is just gonna be a cluster. So I think that gets that out of the way. The whole disqualification thing, like I think that eliminates that. I think this is going to be a matter of, is Seth going to turn on Cody? And if so, how far into the match? Or is Cody going to be on his own for the majority of the match and just get beaten down?
Yeah.
Because I think the idea is going to be to have Cody be more and more of the underdog, quote unquote, and have more adversity to overcome on night 2. So for me, the question has been, is Seth going to turn on Cody? Or is Seth going to remain a man of his word? And I think it's interesting now, too, that Seth, because my thought process was Seth was going to open the show and then close the show, have him defend his title against Drew, possibly lose, then go into the tag team match in the main event, and then possibly be even more injured, re-injured his knee, storyline wise, whatever. He's
Uh,
already weakened. Then he gets pissed off at Cody
yeah.
because Cody's not doing whatever, and then I don't know. But that was my original thought. I'm 50-50 on if Seth is going to turn on Cody, but
I don't.
I
I don't
see.
see that. See, I don't see that. I don't
I
see
don't
that.
either. I don't think you need to. I think you have enough going on the other side where you don't need to turn on to have Seth turn, because then it muddies things up for night 2 when he faces off against Drew now. So to me, you don't need to do that. I think to me it's just going to be a matter of how long this goes, how brutal of a beatdown it is, because I think Cody is going to eat a lot of shit here. I think he's going to be bloodied again. Mama Rhodes is going to get involved. I think his sister's going to get involved. I think the dog is going to get involved. I think Brandy's going to get involved. I think everything. I think
The tag team match is not no. I mean, it's just a regular tag match, though, isn't it?
yeah, but The Rock can very easily say, like when they go to ring the bell, or if they ring the bell for a DQ, The Rock pulling his what I say goes card and say this is now no DQ, this is bloodline rules, like this is a preview for tomorrow night type shit. So I don't see, I could very well see that, and then even then too, like the all you need is the referee to get hit, and he's down for 15 minutes. So I mean, you got plenty of time there. So I don't see that really being a big deal. Um,
Mm.
but the whole story is, well, not the whole story, but part of it lately has been Mama Road, so she's got to get involved. The sister's going to be there too. Like she's probably going to do something, but I think Brandy is going to have something to do here, whether it's her like from jump accompanying Cody like down the aisle, like to the ring, like being ringside, like actual ringside, or if she's just going to be like last year, yes, like last year, just sitting there front row type thing. Um, I think, man, like especially, I mean, she hasn't been brought up, but like if you're a fan of Cody, Brandy can only sit there and take so much about you talking about her man and doing stuff to her man. You know what I mean? So it's like, how is she gonna be there and not do anything? So I think it's gonna be a cluster. And whether that with the whole Brandy thing happens Saturday or Sunday night, it
Mm.
could very well be a Sunday night thing. But Rock and Roman win here. I think The Rock pins Cody. I think that's gonna set up, because I don't. I mean, it's too easy to pin Seth. Like, okay, like
But how?
I don't
But
know. I think
how do you have Cody lose though when he's fixing to beat Roman though? How do you? I don't
because
know how
you,
you.
I don't. I mean, yeah, like you may not want Cody to take a loss, but like they're not gonna remember Cody. No one's gonna sit there and be harping on Cody losing to The Rock on WrestleMania Night 1 when he just defeated Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship on Sunday night. Like that's all people are gonna. He finally finished the stories, right? So if he does win, like he's obviously not gonna be losing back to back. That would be absurd. But I don't know. I don't see him winning both matches either. So, and I don't see, because you could say the same for Seth. Like, why would you want to make your world heavyweight champion look weak and lose in a tag match before he defends his title on night 2 against Drew? Like, you already talked enough shit about him. Like, you're gonna make him lose now too. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's easier for Cody to take the loss because people are going to be that much more like emotionally attached to his win and want him to win even more because he's gone through all this BS and went through God knows what in the tag match. He just lost, so now he's the reason he's facing Bloodline rules on Sunday night. He had the opportunity to make his Sunday evening so much easier if he would have just won the tag match. Now he lost, so now he has to overcome that mind f. Like,
Yeah.
man, I just lost night 1 at the biggest WrestleMania ever. Can I win? I already had a little bit of doubt, but now can I beat Roman? now that it's Bloodline Rules, I have The Rock there, I have Solo, Jimmy, whoever knows from like God knows who else from the Bloodline. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it.
So, oh gosh, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I see, like, I guess my thing is, yes, you could do all this stuff. Like, again, it just feels so obvious that that's what they would do. I want to see Cody. Like, there would be interference if Cody and Roman went one on one. It was like with no bloodline rules. But there's going to be interference somehow. Like, they would still find a way to make that. Like, I want what I was thinking initially, and I still think they could do this is because I don't think Rock is going to stay heel forever. You can't do that. He's the Rock, man. Like, he can't stay heel for so long. But I mean, they're
So you
gonna.
think it's right after Mania type thing? He's
Well,
a
that's
good
what I
guy
was
again, or
thinking. My thought was, and somebody brought this up. I just heard somebody talk about it, but they said it, it made a lot of sense. Where during that tag match, you eventually have where maybe Roman turns on the Rock somehow, or they're like Roman, like they have tension between them, and something happens where you have maybe Seth pin the Rock or something. Because I think Seth needs something big for his match with Drew. Because like you said, you can't have Seth lose and then just lose to Drew. I mean, that would be dumb. I mean, that would just kind of like, all right, well, I mean, you can do that, but it just, I don't know, I don't see it. I'm with you on Cody can lose if you have a lot of chicanery, if you're gonna do all this stuff for him to overcome, which is I'm not against that. I know it's just so predictable. It's fine, but it's just predictable. I mean, we just kind of like whatever. I'm into Cody, whatever they do, I'm into it because I just love Cody. But yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right. They're gonna win, and it's gonna be Bloodline rules. But I just feel like they'll do something different. I don't know. I'm ultimately, I think they're gonna have Seth lose just because Seth, can lose to
Seth
Drew. He's
loses
kind of,
back to back? So you think? Well, we'll
but
get
he's a
to that,
main
but
person at this point too. Like, I mean, Seth still can eventually get back at some point. I mean, he's Seth Rollins. He's eventually going to get back in the picture somehow. I
yeah,
mean,
but
he's
you
lost.
kill him so much, man. He lost all 3 times to Cody. Like he loses everything. Every big match he loses. It's like,
He's had the
damn, like
title for a little while. I mean,
I mean, yeah, but like who's he really? I mean, like he's
yeah,
everyone I don't know. Everyone he's faced already lost to Roman anyway, so it's not like he's really beat anyone of significance. Like it's not like he beat
yeah.
Cody, Like he's already beat Drew. Like it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like you can't keep doing this. It's too easy. You can't keep doing this to Seth. I get it. But like I get what you're saying, but it's just like
I think Cody
Seth
will take the pin, but I don't know. Like, I do think in the title match, either way, if it's Bloodline rules, I mean, yeah, like you said, all those people are going to get in, even if Dustin's not there,
Mhm.
which I don't think he can be, but it'd be cool if he was. With
Yeah,
Brandy,
man.
other people there, like it's going to be fine. Like they're going to make way to, you're going to build up to want to see Cody win even more, and it's going to be great. But I would love to see Cody or Seth get a win and it just be a one-on-one match with the whatever they do for the interference because I just think it's predictable the bloodline rules and all that. I just and then you make it more likely where Austin or Cena would come out and it's just like I don't want that either. So, but I think you're right. Ultimately, I can't. Well, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say Seth, like I said, Roman does something with The Rock, and they have an issue, and Rock gets pinned by Seth somehow. I don't know. I just feel like something different is going to happen than what we're all thinking, because something's got to be different than what we're all thinking every match. Like every match, we kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. To where this one, I feel like they might mix it up a little bit. I might do something a little different, just keep you guessing going into Sunday.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that'd be nice, like that'd be I'd definitely be surprised, but for me, with how vicious Rock was with his beatdown
He
on
was.
Cody, like I don't see him turning back no time this year. Like I think he's gonna ride it out. I think we're gonna get Cody versus Rock at SummerSlam,
That
and I
would
think
be.
that's gonna
That would
yeah,
be.
like and then I think that we're gonna get Rock and Roman at Mania next year, and Roman's the good guy, Rock's the bad guy, and then after that they
But
kumbaya and we're
Roman,
good.
see, that's the thing about Roman, which again, I love what Roman has. I mean, Roman to do that kind of a feud though, like Roman's not going to be around a lot, and that's the only thing. If you're going to have Rock and Roman, like I want them to be around. I want to build to that. I just don't know if he's going to be there enough to. I mean, the fans are going to be into Roman. I think no. I think the fans will when Roman eventually turns. I think the fans will obviously be into it because it's been a long time now, and they're over that other crap that we just wish we could just forget. But now that it's been 5 years, I think the fans will be into it. I just don't know if he's invested in being there long term. He's just not. He's not around much anymore. So I don't
No,
know.
but I think it's gonna be something similar to like Cena and Rock. I mean, obviously Cena was around much more, but like I feel like I think Rock is going to be so pissed that Roman loses the title, potentially, if Roman loses the title, um, that's what sets him off because he's done all this, like he did all this vicious stuff to Cody, went into this different, like he's the final boss now. Like he went into this deep dark side of himself, and he did all this for Roman and the bloodline just for Roman to lose at Mania. Like I think that is what would set The Rock off against Roman and be like, I did all this for you, and if just for you to lose and blow it on the biggest night ever of
Yeah.
WWE. So get into that more later on, but I think that's what's gonna set Rock off and keep him on the bad guy route. Because I think he's just done too much now to just flip the script and be like, oh, okay, yeah, like the whole it was all a ruse, or like, yeah, I'm gonna help Cody
Big,
now, you know?
that
Like
was a big.
that'd just be kind of corny to me. Like I would actually be very upset because Cody doesn't need help. Cody needs
No,
to keep getting his butt kicked and then triumph at some point and finish the damn story.
I would just love to see Cody have a one-on-one match with Roman where he could just show how good he is by beating Roman in a one-on-one match. That's what I
Yeah,
would just love, though, and that's my thing.
yeah,
Is you have all the chicanery, which is again, it builds sympathy, which is fine. But I just, man, it would be nice to have Cody get a win one-on-one
yeah.
and just be able to win it on his own.
You really would.
But I'm good
You
either way.
really would.
It's been fun. Been fun with that. Good combo.
Yes, sir. But that's it for night one. We are on to night two. We are on to night two.
Let's go.
I was looking through, yeah. They don't I was gonna see
How do you think
they
they'll go? How do you think they'll do the order other than the obvious main event, obviously? But how do you think they'll like what kind of order? Because I feel like they'll do either Jay Jimmy starting off,
yeah.
or they'll do the 6-pack ladder match just because it'd be a crazy bunch of crazy high spots.
Yeah, no, I think Jay and Jimmy starts night one because you wanna open with the bloodline and close with the bloodline. I think brother versus brother is just really cool to start off with, and I think having Jimmy open the show, like that energy that he's gonna bring and the fans, like that would just be prime, and I think that'd be perfect for him. And I think you could follow it up with a ladder match. I think you can go from that to the ladder match because they're gonna need to catch their breath, and the entrances for all 6 teams is gonna take a minute. Um, so I think you got a quick 20 minutes there. And then probably you'll have your 6 woman or yeah, 6 woman tag. And then break it down with probably Gunther have like a championship match, then go to Ray, back to Rhea, and then the main event. That's what I
Yeah, see, I
kind of
don't.
say.
I thought was I don't think you want to put Rhea Becky before the main event because they're going to be tired by then. I don't know if that's going to get a good reaction. Then I want it earlier in the show because
Mhm.
I want Rhea to get her reaction that she should get, and Becky I think would get a better reaction. That's what I'm worried about. If it's just right before
Yeah.
the main event, like I don't
Yeah, because
know.
that could be like 11 o'clock, 11:30 at that point, and people are gonna be tired as
Yeah,
fuck.
I want Dragon
But
Lee and Ray in the match before the main event because even though I
that's what
like
I was
Ray,
thinking too. Yeah. And
have
Dominic
Rhea
could,
then have Rhea Becky then Sammy Gunther because I think those two matches they'll still be super into where I think you can finally like okay Ray and Dragon Lee I love you guys but I gotta go to the bathroom I gotta go get some meat I'll be
right.
back so
And you got Dom, so that'd be an easy just distraction for the fans too, and like a come down, but not really type thing to keep it going. But you don't have to be as like involved emotionally in the match.